Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Nav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmit, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate.
And this is A Storm of Swords, chapters 34 and 35, Arya and Catelyn. In these chapters,
the hound stops, drops, and rolls, and Catelyn wants to curl up into a ball and cry.
welcome to the podcast, everyone. Hey, Harmith, how are you?
I'm okay.
I feel like I talked to you just like yesterday. This is too much. I can't talk to you this often.
I know. We record very regularly now. Like today when I read these chapters today. Or like just a few minutes ago, I guess. When I read these chapters a few minutes ago, I was like, oh, I remember everything from last time. Because we recorded these like 5 days ago, we recorded the last episode 5 days ago, and I edited the last episode 2 days ago. So I'm like, I know this series.
Yeah. It's good to be in the know, isn't it?
Yeah, the memory loss.
You don't have to like text me and be like, what's this net thingy that Sansa's holding?
Yes. So I texted Nav on the Pop Culture Symposium Instagram account because I was stalking us, as you do, and I got to a post we'd posted like earlier, like in summer. It was like
end of Kasha Kings. Yeah, so whenever that was.
And it was a graphic of Sansa holding the hairnet that Dantos had given her, and I had no memory of this. What is the hairnet about? Did we ever find out?
Well, that was the last kind of we heard about it. He was like, We're gonna escape the night of Joffrey's wedding, and here's a gift for you, and it holds the key to your freedom. It's magic. It'll take you home.
And there was this, like, the quote that I'd chosen to put on that graphic was like, it's vengeance for your father. And now looking back at that, I'm like, what? I have no idea what this is. Not that I knew at the time, but I still don't know what it's about.
Yeah, we haven't, like, it hasn't come up again, so.
Yeah. Does she still have the hairnet? Do we?
I think so. I don't think it, like, we didn't hear about it being discarded or anything, so I assume so.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's that. But also, like, it's weird not having, like, 4 hours of catch-up to do before we actually start recording, because we just talked.
Yes.
Usually we spend many hours just being like, okay, this is this. Today I was like, I've got to talk about a calculator and this rash I've got, and that's it. Only 2 updates in the last 5 days.
Oh my god, wow.
I haven't like made any life-altering decisions.
I was gonna say, usually the updates are like just, you know, fuel for the trauma bond. But I feel like, you know, it's May, it's spring. We're at some good places. The depression's
a little, it's waning a bit. Exactly.
So it's kind of like there's less like sad things to like really, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, hope y'all are doing good.
Yeah,
doing well.
I didn't even say anything. Why are you giving me like a see I corrected myself thing? Like, I don't care. I only correct you when it has like double meaning. It's fun.
Okay. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna ask you what you thought of these chapters.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what did I think of these chapters? They were okay. I just like, once again, like, in the last episode, we were talking about, like, I went on this whole thing about, like, why do we read this series? It's so dreadful. And once again, dreadful. Dreadford. But,
I can't even be like, it gets better.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
I have no hope to give you. I'm sorry.
I know. And I'm just like, I read these chapters, and I read...
But it has like, really good moments. Like, I can't say that on the whole, like, but, like, when you get the good moments, you're like, oh, this is good.
Would you stay in a toxic relationship that had good moments?
No, but this isn't that. This is something else.
Okay.
You know what? This is you supporting me in my grief over these books. That's what it is.
Right, yes. You're reliving your grief through my grief.
Yeah, well, the more we talk about these books, the less I like them. I'm just kidding. No, I get, I don't know, it's fun. Like, you know, okay, back in the day, remember when I made you promise me that if I ever lost my memory, you would bring me the Harry Potter books so that I could relive them for the first time?
I remember.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
This was like a decade ago. So this is that, but I'm using you as my, like, memory loss vessel.
Right, yes. Okay.
So I just want to relive this series, and I'm just putting you through it because it's fun.
Yeah.
Other people seem to think so.
Like, I enjoy it. There's gonna be people listening to this and they're gonna be like, Harmond's gonna quit. Like, obviously not. I'm just saying, this series is truly dreadful, and these last few chapters have really made me realize it. However, I'd like to have hope. I know that there's no point in having hope because it's gonna get crushed, but, you know, I think the beauty of life is the ability to have hope knowing it's gonna get crushed and still be like, you know, I'm gonna have hope. So, you know what? Maybe, like, one day Rob will, like, see a glimpse of Arya again. Maybe I can hope for that.
That's what you're living for.
Hey.
This is a very profound episode we've started on.
I think we gotta keep our standards where they can be met.
Yeah. Ooh. I just want to. I want to tell you something, but I can't.
Tell me.
I want to tell you so many things.
You should tell me so many things. You should tell me.
Should I?
Yes, you should. Absolutely.
Well, you know what you were just talking about?
Yes.
Like, what did you just say? Say it again.
I don't know. You think I remember what I just said?
Rob getting a glimpse of Arya.
Okay, yeah. Rob, maybe we can hope that Rob will catch a glimpse of Arya at some point. And we have to meet our expectations where we can meet them.
That, something like that is gonna happen soon.
Okay, that's exciting. Whoa.
I won't say more. Okay. This is just to keep you, like, interested.
Okay, no, this is really smart. This is a really good manipulation tactic to give you another one. When I'm, like, losing, I'm like,
okay, I'll take notes.
Just give me a little spoiler, and then I'll be happy, and I'll be like, oh my god, we have to keep going now. Oh my god, okay, no, that's actually exciting. I like that. Cool.
Okay. All right. So, who dies in these chapters? We actually get, like, named character deaths in this.
Okay, wait. We had Arya's chapter first. Because we had both Starks this time, I kind of got a little like, oh, this feels like the same chapter. Okay, so, like, just because they're both Starks, like, it's association.
Yes, because Arya and Catelyn are so very similar.
No, not because they're similar, just because I have a similar association for them, because I'm like, I like them, you know? Like, when I read Tyrion's chapters, I can't get too happy when things go well for him, but with them, it's like I can kind of let down my guard with the Starks.
Mm-hmm. So, except nothing good ever happened, so...
No, moving on. Okay, I mean, Dendarian dies, ? And then, like, rebirths or respawns. I don't know. It's like a little video game out here with him. Like, and then, does anyone else die in Arya's chapter?
We just hear, like, a really long list of people who have died, which yes. I gotta be honest, I just skimmed through that, like,
No, there was, like, I'm gonna say there was about 3 names on that 70-person list that I was even slightly familiar with.
Yeah, it was just a lot.
It was
okay,
excessive.
So that's Arya's chapter.
And then Catelyn's chapter, we had Wait. Oh, her
Come
dad.
on.
Her dad,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. Sorry, I needed to remember, okay? Just give me
What's
a
his
second.
name? Give me this
Oh,
dad's
Hoster Tully.
Oh, okay.
Lord Hoster Tully, sorry. Put some respect on the old
I didn't
man's
need the
name.
Lord, but I was just testing you to see if you actually remembered Hoster Tully.
You know what's funny? When I was reading the chapter, I got, because Hoster and Walder sound the same. Oh, not the same. They rhyme. I should say. So there was a couple of points where, like, they would say Walder a few times, and then suddenly it would say Hoster, and I would have to, like, rewire my brain to be like, Hoster is the father, Walder is the Frey.
The father of all the other Freys.
No. Yeah, exactly. So I really had to think about it. So if I hadn't thought about that, I might have accidentally said Walder when you said, what's her father's name?
Yeah.
So Hoster Tully died.
And they find out. Oh, what were you gonna say?
I was trying to make a joke, like Edmure's like singlehood, bachelorhood. Is that a word?
I guess, I don't know.
Okay, died. I was trying to make a joke. Who else? Was there anyone else?
They hear about Sir Roderick and all those people dying at Winterfell,
right, yes.
which, let me tell you, I was so surprised that this is when they learned. I fully thought that they knew.
Who's gonna?
I guess
tell?
nobody
no
was.
one
Yeah,
like to tell
who
them,
was gonna tell them? But it was so long ago. Like we're not halfway, but we're almost halfway through this book.
Yeah.
And they just are finding out. This is it was wild.
It's wild. It is very wild. But yeah,
okay.
That was kind of a blow to the heart.
So you ready to summarize the blows to said heart?
Right, yes, okay.
All right, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, cave, underground, captive is, oh my god, Hound. She's like, you killed Micah. They're like, oh my god, like, trial by combat. They'd gotten him from the hunter by threatening him, and then trial by combat. Dendarian dies, #doesn't respawns. Hound, arm burnt, falls, nearly dies, but like survives.
Switch, I think.
Kind
of lost track.
Oops. Okay, Catelyn, the Freys are here with their decision. It's Hoster's funeral, little boat ceremony. Edmure can't shoot to save his life, or draw, or what's it? I don't know. Oh my god, it doesn't matter. Okay, oh my god, what am I saying? Okay, yeah, dinner with them, so Edmure has to marry Frey's youngest granddaughter,
That
Rob and Cat. I didn't even talk about their conversation at all. I got very...
It's fine. You were like...
What do you do to an arrow? Or he couldn't release it? Or, like, aim it?
No, you shoot an arrow. You just shoot arrows.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
You said shoot, and then you got stuck on it. Anyway.
Okay, well, I guess I was right.
Because they keep saying, like, he couldn't bend the bow. Like, that's the thing they were saying.
Oh, yeah. Interesting.
Anyway, okay. So, Arya.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you start us off?
Okay, give me a... Okay, so, Arya, they're in a hill, in a cave, which feels weird to say, but it's true. And there's, like, prisoners and stuff, and there's, like, people here to watch and be like, oh my god, the Hound is here. But at this point, and there's like weirwoods, and they're like, oh, this is a place away from the Lannisters, away from the Starks. And I'm like, where is this location? Where is this hill?
Honestly, you and me, same.
Okay.
I want to know. I want it like marked on the map.
Yeah, no, literally. But the only indication I had was like, okay, they can't be too far, because there's, like, Arya wasn't like, oh, this gruesome journey, you know? Like,
yeah.
They gotta be nearby.
She, like, the Hound was captured drunk, and he's still kind of drunk or hungover, so it couldn't have been more than, like, a day's journey, or maybe 2 at most.
No, literally. But also, okay, so Weirwoods. I always assumed that the reason Weirwoods were... Oh, wait, no, but there was a Weirwood at King's Landing, right? That Arya and Ned used to go to?
No, there was no Weirwood in King's Landing. They would just go to, like, the Godswood that didn't have the Weirwood, and it was, like, the closest thing.
So
but Riverrun does have a Weirwood.
Oh, okay. So they're not just a north thing.
No, it's just that most of the Weirwoods in the south were chopped down by the Andals when they came through.
Okay.
With their, like, 7 gods and whatnot.
Okay. So since there were so few left, then so few are able to continue on.
Yeah, like, it's basically,
it's not
like whichever ones got kind of, like, left behind. Like, whichever ones they didn't find. Okay. Or, like, ones that grew later, because for some reason. I don't know. But this is an old cave, and this is a huge weirwood. This is, like, an old place, so...
Very,
it literally says an old place deep and secret. I was like...
You're like, wow, I had this epiphany that it's an old place.
Because I was thinking about the tangle of Weirwood, and tangle, like, it's the roots and all that stuff, so it's gotta be old, and then it just literally says it's old, so...
Yeah. But yeah, they covered their faces to take them here, like, they really don't want them to know where this is. And then, like, Greenbeard's like, hey, Arya, there's Thoros of Myr. And, like, he's talking to Thomas Evans, and she's like, no way this is Thoros of Myr. Like, he looks so much different than last time I saw him. He's
lost a bunch of weight, and he's real, like, droopy faced. Like he's looking old, basically.
Yeah. And he's
got
now.
Gray hair. Yeah.
And then our favorite Mad Huntsman shows up.
Who they also brought along because the Hound is technically his captive, and they had to convince him through threats. Yeah. And then they also, like, tied and blindfolded him, so, like, he also doesn't know where they are exactly. And this place, I also just want to mention that, like, there's a lot of people here. It's like a village of people. And from this cave, there's all these tunnels that lead out, and some of them are really deep and some aren't, but, like, that's where they all emerge from, and it's like a weird...
Yeah. It's like, who knew this was what? Like, can we use this? Is this a... Like, who uses this? Who
It's like a bomb shelter,
this?
randomly.
Oh my god, no, literally.
It's a dragon bomb shelter. Or whatever, you know.
I guess.
Like, to hide from dragon attacks.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's perfectly plausible. Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, so the huntsman
It's funny when you theorize things, because I don't know if you're, like, playing dumb with me or if you actually are theorizing. Like, do you know what I mean? I never know how much of your theories are actually theories.
Well, just go with them. It's fine.
I know, but I'm just saying. Anyway.
Well, that's the point. I can't be like, oh, by the way, this is true.
No,
and
like,
I know it.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying that that's my experience, is that I now have trust issues when you speak.
Okay, love that.
Anyway,
this toxic relationship continues to give.
Oh my god. Okay, but yeah, so they're like, oh yeah, like, the huntsman's like, I just found him under a willow tree, like, he was drunk. And I'm like, he's just, like, that's just what he's been up. I mean, I guess, because he didn't really have anywhere to go, but, like, where did he get the wine, or, you know, like, do you know what I mean? I just have so many questions. Like, what has he been up to? It's been a bit.
He's probably just, like, getting drunk and,
Yeah, but, like, he doesn't have money. Like, he didn't get
Doesn't
paid.
he?
But he didn't get paid in, like, money.
We don't know. When in the last Arya chapter, when she's, like, first seeing the Hound and the huntsman's brought him in, they're talking about, like, how you're gonna rot in that crow cage while we spend all your money.
So maybe
he does have money. We don't know where he got it.
Okay.
You think he stole it?
I mean, yeah. He didn't, like, go to Tywin on his way.
From where, though? It's not like King's Landing has any money.
Yeah, but like other places have money, like on his, and he's tall and big and scary, and like he has all his armor. Like he probably just went and threatened some people. But like, who has money? It's literally war. I don't know. Anyway, I think he stole money. Doesn't matter from where. So yeah, they found him, and then she's. At this point, it's revealed to us that it is, in fact, Sandor Clegane, but I already knew, so whatever.
Point for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody should keep track of, like, a point system for you to see how many of your predictions come true. And then how many don't. No, and then for everyone that doesn't, you get a negative point.
No! I would be at, like, a negative
I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, you would just get a point for every actual prediction. Yeah.
Agreed. I love that. Okay. That's great. And then for every 20 that I get, I earn a spoiler.
What? No.
You give me a spoiler for every 20.
First off, nobody's keeping track of these, so sure, why not? Second, I'm not giving you spoilers.
I'll start keeping track if you agree to give me a spoiler.
Well, I could just say things and they could just be like lies.
No! But the audience will know that you're being unfaithful.
I did not agree to this. Like, who's...
Okay, we will discuss this later. Anyway, so, but yeah, he's like, oh yeah, like, I know you, like, you used to make fun of my story.
You know what? For every 20 points, I'll give you a vague statement.
But it has to actually, like, mean something.
I will. It will. Okay. But I still don't know who's keeping track of the points. It's not going to be me.
You know what? I will eventually get on this and start keeping track. You know what? We need a new channel in the Discord, and it can just be everything I've ever gotten right.
We don't need more?
No, yes, we do. We're eventually gonna we need more and more channels. I love more
that
channels.
Okay, fine.
Okay, when you create that, I'll start going back and listing, and people can contribute. Because then when someone listens to an episode, they can go and be like, Harmit, you got this right. So everyone, it can be a communal keeping track of it, you know?
Okay.
This is a great idea. Okay,
fine. It's a good idea. Remind me about it later, because I'm going to definitely forget.
Okay, we will. But then he says, so Clegane is like, oh, like, you used to shave your head, and he's like, this is so funny. I don't know, I just found this was really funny. He's like, to betoken a humble heart, but in truth my heart was vain. Besides, I lost my razor in the woods. I was like, you're so dramatic.
He hasn't lost his sense of humor.
Yeah, it was a fun little dramatic thing.
If you remember, this guy was Robert's favorite.
Yeah.
Because they were both like, they just loved to like drink and eat and just be loud and annoying.
No, literally. But now he's become this, like, priesty dude.
Yeah, he says the Lord of Light has woken in my heart. My many powers, long asleep, are waking, and there are forces now moving in the land. I have seen them in my flames. So he's... I think we heard about this a little bit, but he's been reading them flames like Melisandre.
Melisandre dupe. Welcome aboard.
Yeah, do you think he and Melisandre will ever meet up?
Oh, yeah.
And then just, like, fangirl over the Lord of Light?
Oh, 100%. Isn't that church? Church is a fandom.
It is. Yep. Just as fandom is a cult, church is a fandom.
Yes,
is
totally.
A blank. Moving on.
Oh my god. See, but there's good fandoms in the world, so that's okay. But there's also
I'm not saying like I'm all for cults, honestly.
No. Nav quote of the day.
I think we need more of them in the world.
Okay. Oh my god. Okay, we're getting so off track. Okay, but yeah, this was a weird, like, okay, so this is weird because they're Kingsmen, and now they're supporting the Lord of Light, and technically Stannis is the true heir.
Oh.
So it's like this weird, like,
I didn't even make that connection. So, yeah, like if they found out that he's the one chosen by R'hllor, would they like be like, oh yeah, we're all for him? Because they're not like we're for Joffrey. We're like, Robert may be dead, we're still Kingsmen. So they're just like,
So it's still just like, they're like, oh, what we think is right. But then instead of thinking about actual justice, they're like, we're leaving it up to the Lord. So that action just really makes me think, like, if Melisandre came through, they would totally jump on.
But why isn't leaving it up to the Lord actual justice?
Because I just don't think that it is.
Okay. All right. So, yeah, the Hound is like, fuck you, Thoros Mir. I forgot which part of it was his name and which part is like of, you know?
I think it's Thoros.
Mir of Thoros.
Because they say Thoros a few times.
It is Thoros of Mir. I just forgot for a second there. Like, Mir? Not like actually forgot, but yeah. So,
interesting.
They're just like, oh, we're kings. No, I don't think this is where they do Kingsmen, but they were just like, we're all from all walks of life and we've come together here to do this thing. And that's when Beric starts monologuing down a staircase. This is like such a dramatic moment. It was weird.
Yes.
But he looks like shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She calls him a scarecrow of a man. And he doesn't look great. His head is bashed in one spot. One of his eyes, it looks like, was stabbed or something. And he's got a dark ring about his neck, which may or may not be from a hanging. It's like all these all the stories we heard, like, oh, the mountain did this to him and then this person did that to him. It's kind of like, oh, okay, maybe they actually did. Yeah.
This is terrifying. Like, this man should not be alive, but somehow he's here.
He's telling the story of how, like, Ned Stark sent them out, but we were fighting for Robert. And
he's like,
but now we fight for the realm, really.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, but what does that, like, what does that mean to you? Like, you're just, but I guess, like, they're just like, oh, like, we save innocent people from stuff
they're Robin Hood.
Through. Yeah, that's true. But
so,
and then
Arya's like, wait, this is Beric Dondarrion, the dude Jane Poole had a crush on? Like, he was young and cool and pretty, and this dude looks like absolute shit.
Yep.
And another shock. And the Hound calls them brave companions, and everybody's like real outraged by that, which I get it. Like, nobody wants to be the brave companions other than the brave companions. And then they're like, oh, we're the Brotherhood without banners. Can I tell you how relieved I was that we finally got to this spot? Because every time I wanted to say Arya's with, I wanted to say the Brotherhood without banners instead of saying... And then I had to, like, stop myself and be like, Beric's people, instead of being...
But...
Yeah,
Eric.
every time.
That's so funny.
But now I can just say Arya's with the Brotherhood without banners. Oh.
Wow. Small victory.
Yeah. And they call themselves also the Knights of the Hollow Hill. And Clegane is like, wait, I know Dondarrion's a knight, but the rest of y'all, that's... bullshit. Which I was a little surprised at, because it's not like he cares about, like, knighthood. So why does he care if, like, Beric has knighted all these people or not, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't care about knighthood, but the reason he doesn't care about knighthood is because he does care.
I guess.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But he's like... But his brother is a knight, and he's like, my brother's shit, so...
Yeah, but, like...
Or maybe he's, like, mad at his brother for...
being a knight and still being shit?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I think it's just, like, you know, like, he's like, I hate knights, but, like, the reason he feels so strongly about it is because he wants them to be something better than they are, you know? Like, he still is, like, it should mean something, even though it doesn't, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think he's just stalling, so they don't, like, he's just trying to get them to keep talking.
Yeah, but he also is, like, really eager to be like, let me fight somebody and leave. Like,
yeah. But that's just like his little brave face.
So they're like, oh, we're gonna punish you for all these crimes you committed. And they start listing all the stuff like his brother did and everything that the Lannisters have ever done. And like just listing all the people that have died in the conflict. Mm-hmm. And it's, I don't know, it's a little desperate. Like,
yeah, there was just, okay, Derry's, who were they again? I know I should know that. Okay, so that's
the castle. The Derry Castle is where the King's party stopped, like from Winterfell to King's Landing. That's where they stopped, and that's where the shit with the wolves went down.
Oh, okay.
So that was whoever Derry was in charge at that time. He died, and then like everybody else in his family died because the Derry lands were one of the first lands that the Mountain attacked.
Okay.
Sad. And I think among like the people that Beric Dondarrion was sent with, there were a bunch of Derry people there too, because they were like, we want revenge,
right?
Or something.
That makes sense. But when they were giving this list, in my head I was like, oh, and Arya's friend. Little did I know that like 2 minutes later, Arya would chime in.
Yeah. Before she does, though, Clegane is like, wait, so you're just gonna pin the crimes of all of the Lannisters all on me? Like, I wasn't there. Like, this is not how it be. Yeah. And they're just kind of like fumbling around, and until Arya goes in with, oh, you killed Micah, you murdered him. And then they're like, oh, Micah, you say? Like, we finally have like an actual like
done.
Yeah, exactly. They're real desperate to like cling on to that. Which, what was their plan if Arya hadn't chimed in with that, you know?
I don't know. It's like they're so desperate to be like, we're doing this because it's just. But it's like, no, you're doing it.
But they're just doing it because.
You're doing it because it's the brother of the dude who you were really. But once again, I was like, I guess everyone knows that it's not like his brother cares about him. But I just feel like if you have the brother of the dude who you're literally trying to get, you should do something more than just, like, I just feel like they should have done
They should have used him as a hostage?
I don't know, but then at the same time, I'm like, okay, like we know that wouldn't have worked, but I just feel like it's almost like, it's almost like this weird wastage where they're just like, okay, let's fight. I know you're gonna die because I have, like, the Lord of Light or whatever.
They probably just haven't killed somebody in a while and they want to, like, make a spectacle.
I know, but I just expected more logic from Beric, but I guess he's just a fighter.
Yeah. So, once Arya chimes in, the Hound turns to her, and at first he, like, does not recognize her at all.
Yeah.
And it takes him a second. And, like, she goes into, like, this is what happened. Yeah. And then he, like, takes a second look and is like, wait. You're the little sister. Don't you know you're dead?
Oh my god.
Which, yeah.
She's so like, no, you're dead.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And, yeah, so they, like, the people around them get, like, a little bit of detail about what happened. And the Hound is like, well, Joffrey said that kid attacked him, so it was my job to do that, so I did it. It was just my job. Mm-hmm. And
your sister said it too.
Exactly, yeah. And then Arya just gets extra mad at Sansa, like, all over again. Which is so sad, but I get it.
No, that's valid.
Sansa today would never do that, though, I don't think.
I think Sansa now has a brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, she knows not that... Listen, we talked about it then. It was like a self-preservation move at that time, too. It's just that she knows more about the Lannisters now. Yeah. You know?
I think, yeah. Like, I get that it was a self-preservation move, but but what sucked was, like, there was just nothing. Like, even in front of, like, Ned and Arya, she was kind of like, oh, I did that.
Yeah, like, she did betray her family. Like, it was...
There was, like, no sense of, like, oh, I regret doing that. I'm sorry, Arya, but here's why I did it.
Well, she did lose Lady because of it. But then she just blamed that, like, turned that anger towards Arya. Anyway, it's all a mess. It's fine. We're past it. We're 3 books past it. Let's
oh my God.
Let's move on. So they're like, okay, none of us were there, so we can't, like, quite say what actually happened. So you're going to have to be judged by the Lord of Light. So I sentence you to a trial by battle. And they're like, okay, you have to prove your innocence, which is like a real, like, you know, backwards of like innocent until proven guilty, which is not something that they utilize. Yeah. It's the literal opposite, like guilty until proven innocent. Why did I point that out? I had when I was reading this, I had some kind of thought about that, which I can't remember now. Let me think. Yeah, it's just like putting the onus on the accused party to prove themselves instead of like the prosecution to do it. You know?
Yeah. No, totally.
Okay. I can't remember my exact thought, but it was something like that. So the Hound's like, okay, who's gonna fight me? And Beric says that it's gonna be him. And then he turns to Ned to help him get ready.
Oh my God. Ugh.
Which, okay, I don't know if you remember, but many, many, many moons ago, I got like overexcited, and the first time that I thought Arya was going to meet the Brotherhood, that Ned was with them at that time. So I told you, I was like, next episode or next chapter, we're going to meet Ned. And you were like, what? And then it never happened, and I just kind of like didn't bring it up.
I don't remember that at all.
It's fine. We were going to meet Ned. We finally met Ned.
That's wild.
I said that just to get like a what reaction from you.
Okay. Interesting.
But here's Ned.
Wow. It pans out months later.
Yeah. Oh my God. Even though you didn't remember, so. What was your reaction when you heard this kid named Ned?
I drew a heart around it. That was my reaction.
Do you think it's just like a random coincidence?
Yes.
But like Ned was short for Eddard, so what's this kid's name that it's short for?
I don't know.
Is he named Eddard?
Nedrick. Nancy.
Neddard.
Neddardio. I don't know.
Okay, anyway, so it's just like a fair-haired squire, no more than 10 or 12, so like basically Arya's age. And so they're getting like ready, and Beric is taking off his armor because the Hound isn't allowed any armor either. And he's apparently just like naked beneath his like breastplate. Don't y'all wear like shirts or undershirts or something? I don't know. But his skin, once again, he's like really deeply scarred, and there's a straight up hole above it on the left side of his chest where you might expect his heart to be, per se. And that hole continues through to his back, as if something like a lance or something went all the way through, and here he is still standing. So what were your thoughts about this at this point?
I was like, this man should not be alive. But maybe he's just like, I was just like, oh, like maybe he's just like really good at healing. Like, I don't know, he just had a really good maester.
He's Deadpool. A lot of
things. He's Deadpool. Like, I don't know that reference. I'm gonna pretend like I do. Haha, so funny.
Oh no, okay. Deadpool can heal really quickly, basically.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I didn't think too much of it. But I was like weirded out and like grossed out, but I wasn't like, oh, clearly this is like God.
Okay. All right. You didn't think he was like coming back to life. It's just that those like attempts on his life weren't successful. That's what you thought. I was
just like, oh, he's just like, his body's just real good at healing somehow.
Did you think any kind of like magical thing had to do with that, or was it just... No.
I had boring thoughts, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. It must have been a fun surprise then.
Yeah. I literally, my jaw dropped onto the floor and I was like, whoa.
See, that was a good moment.
Yes.
You gotta admit, come on.
Yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
Anyway, so they like pull up their swords and Thoros would only give Clegane his sword once like he's got like archers aimed at him in case he tries, something else. Which I thought was smart, because often these like in these kind of things they're just like, here's your weapon, fight, and then they turn on you, and then it's like, why didn't you think of that? So I'm glad that they thought of that loophole and then filled it. So okay, and then they're like, okay, we gotta pray now, and then they do the whole Lord of Light, shine your face upon us, for the night is dark.
These people, like this entire village or whatever, we're all
but you interrupted the night is dark and full of terrors. Just let me say the thing.
Sorry. I don't respect R'hllor like that.
Melisandre would not be proud.
Yeah, well, good thing she's not alive.
Isn't she?
Like, in the real world. Like, that's what I was trying to say. Like, good thing she's not real.
Whoa. You're making some claims right now.
I'm sorry to all the Melisandres out there.
Okay, God. Yeah, all these people are now devotees of R'hllor.
Crazy.
Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, that's... Oh, yeah, I thought I said that. I was like, why are you repeating what I'm saying? Okay, I just had a thought. So, like, in this moment, when I was reading, I got really caught up in, like, because they were like, oh, if you're true and just, you'll survive, Because I wasn't suspecting the whole R'hllor thingy yet, or, like the whole thingy thing yet. I keep saying thing. So I was like, okay. And then I was trying to ration with myself, because I was like, okay, if they're blaming him for everyone's crimes, like, okay, yeah, he's not an innocent, like, he's like a bystander, and he contributed to a lot of them. However, if we're just thinking about the Arya thing, technically, he didn't know, but then it's like, he would have suspected, like, I don't know. I got very caught up in my head.
Yeah, like, is he actually innocent or guilty of this murder?
I had this
Let's get to that debate in a second. Let's talk about these devotees. So, do you think it makes sense that they're now all so devoted, given what Beric has demonstrated?
I don't think that they are yet, but I just think that they really, like, if Melisandre reaches out, we're done.
You don't think they're actually devoted?
No, sorry. I think I just misunderstood you. They are devoted. Yes, I think.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking, are they loyal to Stannis, not devoted to
no. Stannis has not entered the chat.
Okay.
It's
yeah. So So I think that they are, because I think like first of all, Beric is kind of like living proof almost.
Yeah.
So there's no like doubt. But that doubt's clear. And then also but then the counter argument is like, these people are like from the north, from the south, from the Vale, like they're from everywhere. So it's kind of like this weird, like, they all have their own.
But it only takes one guy coming back from the death to really, convince people.
No, yeah, but I'm sure there's some people who are skeptical and they're like, oh, like, this is, even if they believe that, like, yeah, the Lord of Light exists, they might be like, this is blasphemous to my lord. This is like They
don't seem to, like, be very, like, you can't praise the seven, or like they're not like zealous like that. They're not like Melisandre in that way. Like if anybody mentions like 7 hells or something, she's like, you mean the one hell that exists because R'hllor or whatever, or the other god create, like, she's very intense about it. Whereas they're like, hey, we hang out, we're chill, this is our thing, you can do your thing, and we don't want to see these septs and things burned down. Like, it's fine. And we're in this, like, house of Weirwoods or Weirwood singular or something. And we're not burning that shit down either, because, like, it's cool. We can all coexist, you know?
Right.
That's more their attitude, I feel like.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Okay, we're, like, getting ahead of the conversation, but this is where we're at, so I'm just gonna... Okay. So, it might make sense that people believe in this now because of this Beric being still alive. Is that R'hllor? Like, what is that?
Fucking... I'm so lost. I don't, like... Okay, so... Yes? Tentative? Yes. Like, it's like R'hllor... Because, okay, so Thoros... Because I'm thinking here's how it went down. Thoros was, like, a priest, right? Like, that was, like, a thing of his. And then one day he was just priesting about, and then he had this red vision, and he was like, whoa, I've never had anything like this before. And then it was pretty much just, like, the Lord of Light sending, like, what's it called in sales? Like, it was like a cold call from the Lord of Light. And he was like, hey, come on. And then it was like, okay. And then he jumped on
the Lord of Light's just cold calling all his priests.
Yes, he is.
Somebody will pick up.
Exactly. And so that happened. And then, like, he was like, I'll show you this vision. And he was like, this is more realistic, or this is more extreme than anything I've seen before. Let me test it out. And then, like, something happened, and then, like, the Beric stuff happened. I'm like, now they're on board. So I do think it is a R'hllor thing, because we've seen what R'hllor, quote unquote, can do. So
we've seen more evidence from R'hllor's, like, religion than any of the others. Yeah. Like, I don't know, like, the Weirwoods, have they shown any particular magic?
I don't think so. But
like, we know there's, like, the magic of the North that exists with, like, the wargs and all of that stuff.
I do think the Weirwoods
we don't know how, like,
to that.
Okay.
I do think that is connected.
Okay. They're like antennas, you know, sending out signals. Yeah. Like, if you're within range of a Weirwood, you can practice your warging abilities.
Yes, apparently. Like, I don't know if it's that extreme, but I just think it's like there's like a strength there, or it's like easier to do stuff or something.
Right. But unlike the 7 that do nothing.
No.
Except like just sit on their statues or whatever.
I also think the R'hllor thing, I have a hard time believing that it's like God or whatever. Like, I feel like R'hllor is like some sort of just like just some sort of magical being, or like just some sort of priest that like got a bottle of magic or something. Like, do you know what I mean?
So,
like I think it's
is R'hllor someone we will meet then? As opposed to being like the omnipresent, like, God kind of thing?
I think so. Because it just feels like it's being orchestrated almost.
Okay. Interesting.
I don't know.
Okay, we're getting too deep in this. Let's emerge and... Okay, so Beric pulls some more cool shit. He takes his sword, slices his palm, covers the sword with his blood, and all of a sudden, this sword is aflame.
What the fuck?
And not like wildfire kind of a flame. Like, for real a flame. Not like Stannis' burning sword in the pyre of flame.
Oh my god, that was so
Remember
funny.
that?
Yeah.
Ow, too hot, ouch, somebody get me some gloves, god damn it.
Yeah, this was...
Roll this in some sand. Stop, drop, and roll this in some sand.
Oh my god. No, this was ruthless. Do they know about the Hound and fire and all that, or was this just a Beric move? Do you know what I mean?
Well, like, that specific story, he tells Sansa, and he's like, if you tell anyone, I'm gonna kill you. So he's not going around telling people, but people can see his face is burnt.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, but this just feels more like a Beric thing, but cool.
Yeah, I don't think this was specifically, like, I think he would do this no matter who the opponent was.
That makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, this is just his of like, I'm just gonna add a little bit of spice to my fight, you know?
True.
What was I gonna say? Okay.
So then fight,
wait.
die.
Wait.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh my god, we're going back into the religion shit. So, R'hllor is like the god, and then R'hllor's like messenger or like
disciple?
Not disciple, like person through which R'hllor acts. What's that called?
Oh, like vessel?
I don't know. Like we hear about Azor Ahai, right? The guy who like saved the world somehow by forging Lightbringer, a sword on fire. And we know Stannis has got like a Lightbringer in quotations, you know?
Yeah.
But this is like this sword breaks, but this is a sword on fire. Like, is there a connection there somehow?
Maybe. I don't think, like, Beric is Azor Ahai reborn, if that's what you're implying. But I do think it is, like, oh, Lord... Like, I think
he
it's,
is
like,
reborn a bunch of times.
True, but I don't think so. But I do think it is, like, like, that... I do think it specifically is, like, a Lord... Like, I think this is just a trademark of... like, a Lord of Light shit now.
I also think this is, like, on George's part, being, like... Here's more evidence that Stannis's Lightbringer isn't really Lightbringer.
Right.
You know? Like, Stannis can't even do this, let alone...
Yeah.
You know?
No, that makes sense, yeah. Yeah, I think it's just, like... You know, there's different levels to things. So I think this is, like, once again, like you said, like, the Stannis thing, and then this is, like, a step higher from the Stannis thing, but it's still, like... It's not Lightbringer.
Right. Okay. Cool. So glad we covered that sword very well. So they fight. What was it we used to say? Bite, die.
Yeah.
Fight. Burn, die, burn. I don't know.
I think pretty much just the points of note are like they're fighting, and like every time Clegane gets closer to falling into the fire pit behind him, he starts fighting harder and better.
And at one point, Beric smashes his sword down on the Hound's shield, which then starts burning, and then burns his arm underneath it.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And he's freaked out by that, which I think... this is when he extra, like, gets into a rage.
Yeah.
And then just takes his sword and shoves it at Beric. Beric. Oh my god, there's too many names.
Oh
Beric.
God.
And then it breaks Beric's sword. And then cleaves him from neck to, like, rib. Like, guts, basic. I don't know. Like... A real slash. Like,
Yep. And the
it's
blood
brutal.
gushing out was black.
Yeah, I don't know if it was like black because he's like, you know, dead and reborn, or if it's just dark and it looks black.
Right. Could be both.
I thought it was kind of the second. Because, wait, when he slits his hand, does it say the blood was black?
It just says that the blood was dark. It doesn't say...
Blood ran dark from the gash he made. Yeah, I think it's just because it's, like, dark in the pit. Not that it's... Yeah, because I feel like Arya would have made a bigger deal if, like, oil started pouring from him, you know? Like petroleum or something.
Oh my god. And he didn't light on fire? Like, what? There's fire
That's why the slash and then the sword and the friction, and then it was like, that's why the sword was on fire, you know? Science.
Right, yes, yes. The oil lit it on fire. But yeah, Kate, this, like, I know we don't, like, love the Hound, and he's not, like, a great person, but, like, this is, like, so commendable. Like, I know we, like, know that he's, like, really good at fighting and, like, all that, but I just feel like at this point that doesn't mean anything to me anymore, because, like, Jaime's really good at fighting, he's really good at fighting, Robert used to be good back in his prime. Like, do you know what I mean? Everyone, like, all of these people can fight, like, that's all they've done their entire life, but, like, this to me was just like, wow, mans can work under pressure of fire. Like, this was interesting.
Yeah.
Some respect.
He's huge and good at what he does, yeah. And so he...
And then he's like, I'm burned, help me.
Yeah, he's like crying. This was really sad. Like, I just want somebody
kind of felt
like,
bad.
Oh, it's okay. Because that's a lot of trauma to relive, you know?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Arya is like, if there are gods, why didn't Beric win? Because she knows the Hound is guilty. Which now we can go to that conversation of, is he or is he not guilty? Now, I don't want to go down the road of being like, he was ordered to do it, so he's not guilty. Because, like, that's basically the defense that the Nazis used to be like, we tortured all these people because we were given orders. Like,
yeah, that's not a good, doesn't relieve you of your crimes.
Exactly.
Because someone told you to do it.
Yeah, maybe.
Like,
I personally don't hold it against him very much.
Yeah.
I don't know. And later he's, you know, Arya's like shouting at him, and she pulls a knife and is trying to like kill him, and he's like, yeah, kill me. I did kill that kid. I rode him down and cut him in half and laughed. I watched them beat your sister bloody, and I watched them cut your father's head off. And while he was listing this, the like part that stood out to me was like, I watched them beat your sister bloody, which I feel like I know that he feels guilty about that. You know?
Yeah.
And I think putting it at that list, I feel like he feels guilty about the other things too. Like, I'm inferring a lot here. But he's kind of like, yeah, I am a piece of shit and I did these shitty things and I hate it. Like, you know?
I don't know if he's saying all of that, but I do get your... I really don't think he's saying I'm a piece of shit and I hate all of that, but I do think he is saying I'm a piece of shit and I'm... Like, I think he is self-aware that he's not, like, a good person. Like, you know how the Lannisters will, like, cover it up and be like, oh, but, like, this is for my family. Like, Cersei will do things and be like, but it's for my family.
I just, for some reason, got, like, a sense of guilt, like, about all of those actions from him.
Yeah. I think it could be there, but...
And not that, like, guilt excuses whatever.
Yeah, but it just makes him not a monster, that, like, he is guilty.
Yeah, maybe, like, R'hllor or whatever the force may be that decides these things is,
was sensing, like, oh, there's humanity here, like, he's feeling some type of way about it.
Or, like, but at the same time, like, we're like, giving more heft to the godly business of this because of, like, everything with Beric. Because if it had been just, like, a trial by battle like any other time, we know that it's just, like, 50-50 odds, or it depends on who's a better fighter, right?
Yeah.
And we have seen, like, trials in the past, like Tyrion's trial. He won that. And we know he was innocent.
Yeah, but he won that because the other dude was wearing bad armor.
Yeah.
Like, his thing was good.
And then there was also, like, the other trial in quotations that we've heard about is when Ned's dad, Rickard, and Brandon Stark were in King's Landing, and the Mad King was like, I'm gonna give you a trial, and I choose fire as my champion.
Right, yeah, that also doesn't count. Like, I just think
but they were innocent and they died, so, like...
Yeah, this whole trial by combat business is just... People... It's just bringing, like, religion into law, which is not
bad.
Really good. Like, I just, you know, I doubt the validity of it, but I still do like that we're talking about it, because it's leading to this greater discussion of, like, the guilt versus Like,
yeah,
him still doing it. But so, like, I get what you're saying about, like he, like, I think also because he's drunk, like, you know, when you're drunk, there's a little bit more of that honesty of, like, you know, and you're, like, regretting your life's decisions, so, like, although he might
say that as if you've been drunk a lot.
No, but, like, I've never drunk, but I, you know, understand how it works, like, but I just think, like, yeah, I just think we can't give him too much credit, because A, he still did those things, and B, he still sucks, and C, he's drunk. But I do see your point, like, he ain't a monster, you know? He feels...
Yeah.
He does feel some type of way. And I do agree with, like, especially the Sansa thing, because he has this weird obsession with her, he definitely is like, oh my god, we could have lived a happy life together, you know?
I don't know if it's that exactly, but, like, I probably shouldn't have let her be hurt so bad. Like, maybe it's a bit of that. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so...
Actually, you know what? I think I agree with you. Because I'm recalling all of those instances of him being like, don't do that, girl. Don't do that. Like, he never, like... No, but then he also got joy out of, like, killing... You know, I go back and forth, but I'm sticking with my thoughts. Sorry, continue. We're getting stuck.
Okay, so... Arya's mad that somebody snatches her knife away and she can't kill him, even though, like, when she saw him, like, weeping, she kind of, like, hesitated for a second because she was like, this guy, like, he's so pathetic. Like, a little bit, right?
Yeah. And this girl is turning into a killer.
She has killed a few people.
No, yes, but I don't feel comfortable calling an 11-year-old a killer.
Is she even 11 yet? Okay, we have had this conversation too many times. She tells him to go to hell. To which a voice scarce stronger than a whisper says he has. And Arya turns around and it's Beric Dondarrion standing behind her, his bloody hand clutching Thoros by the shoulder. And this man is either didn't die or is reborn. I think it's unlikely that he didn't die from that blow.
Yeah.
I just think he's reborn somehow.
Yeah. I think Thoros did a thing. Because then they, like, he, like, takes him away and he's like, by the power of the Lords of Light! And then he comes back.
By the power vested in me by R'hllor, I now hereby pronounce you alive.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Okay. So there's that.
Get the bouquet. Who's being alive? Which dead body are we aliving next? Oh wait, they can't catch because they're dead.
Unalive.
Sorry, continue. What?
I was just saying that it's an unaliving.
Right, yes, I guess.
So predictions. Let's see. We've got... Okay. The Hound. Are they going to let him walk?
I'm thinking. I think so. Because they say...
Where's he gonna go?
I don't know.
Like they do say that he's, you know, been proven innocent or whatever.
But also, like, they said that under the guise of, like, oh, we can kill him. But at the same time, like, they had to know he's a really good fighter. Like, there's a chance. Like, you know, if they're believing their bullshit, like, they gotta let him go.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they will let him go. I don't know where he's gonna go. I'm not sure. But either way, he knows that Arya is alive now. And now all of those people know. Because before it was just, like, Len and Graham and, like, Harwin and, like, Gendry.
Well, do they all know that she's Arya? He just calls her the little sister. Like, he never says, oh, you're Arya Stark.
I guess. But they know that she's, like, tied to, like, Joffrey and shit somehow, because they talked about it extensively. Okay, so, there's
alright,
gotta
people
be smart
know that Arya's alive.
Knows.
Okay, people know that Arya's alive. So what?
But then it's like, the Lannisters are gonna be like, I thought she was dead, and the Starks are gonna be like, we can still find her.
So the Starks and the Lannisters are gonna hear about her being alive?
They could.
Anything could happen. What's
Fine,
going to happen?
They will hear about it.
All right. And, okay, so Arya, she is not happy about this outcome. What is she gonna do?
I don't think she can do anything. I think she'll just await her own sentence.
Or just, like, figure out what they're gonna do with her.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Hound is gone. Arya is around. How long is Beric gonna keep pulling this off? Is he a cat? Has he got, like, 9 lives? Like, what's the limit, you know?
I don't think there's a limit. I think magic is magic. And
when does this warranty expire, though?
I think it's just, like, because you know how Melisandre was like, oh, like, Davos, you have a lot of life. Stannis is weak and dying. So I think it's, like, with every rebirth, like, he is losing... You know, like, I do
so
think
it's just until he loses all essence of life, and then...
I think so.
Like, whenever that is.
Yeah. Let's give it, like, 30 rebirths.
Okay. So is he gonna die anytime soon?
I don't think so.
Like, for real?
I don't think so.
What about Thoros? He's not looking too hot either.
I think he's got a few more re-lives.
But he's not himself gonna die?
No.
Okay. And, I think we've discussed the hell out of everything. We should just move on.
Yes, we have. Let's go.
Okay. Catelyn. So, they are, returning her dad to the river. Which is, like, their funeral tradition. Mm-hmm. So he's in this boat all dressed up with all his armor and shit. And they send it off into the river, and they get, like, 7 dudes for the Faith of the 7 to push it off. Which, where does this, like, so 1 to each side, and then the 7th person, I guess, at the very end, just being like, push! I don't know.
Yeah.
I just gotta think of the logistics, you know? Because when, in, like, I guess, like, in a Christian funeral, like, they have pallbearers. And there's usually, like, an even number of those because they all gotta bear it evenly. I don't know. So there's that. And we learn that one of the people pushing the boat into the river is Lothar Frey, who has come from the twins with the answer that they have been waiting for. And he's here with some soldiers and his bastard brother, Walder Rivers, who is not the coolest. Like, he's very stern and whatever.
Kind of just annoying, yeah.
Yeah.
And Edmure's like, all offended. Edmure's like, oh my god.
Yeah, they send, like, a bastard and a disabled person to treat with us. That's definitely an insult. But Catelyn's like, yeah, but we gotta let him, like...
Yeah, what did you expect?
We need him. Exactly.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Rob's real smart and is like, you know, greets them well, finds them space, and even asks Lothar to join them in the sending off of the boat and all of that. So he's doing good. And I think we knew this, but we get a confirmation or a reminder that the Freys are the most powerful of the River Run Spannermen.
Yeah. So
love that they're
yay, our favorites.
They hold so much power, yeah.
Yay.
So they're they send off the boat, and Edmure now has to light the boat on fire with an arrow. And he tries 3 times, and he fails 3 times. And then he just, like, shoves his boat at his uncle and leaves. And the boat's, like, almost out of range at this point. So Brendan's like, get me that shit. And he, like, lights it and, he's, like, even the way it's written... Swiftly, Sir Brendan said. He knocked an arrow, held it steady for the brand, drew and released before Catelyn was quite sure that the fire had caught. And then it's gone. Like, he's just, like, really efficient about it, and there's something... about that, like, competence, you know?
Yeah,
That's
I agree.
really admirable.
No, it's just like Brendan, you need someone to do something. Is his name Brendan or Brendan?
Brendan,
Okay.
doesn't matter.
Whatever you need, like, Brendan's got you. And I just, and like, he'll do it. Like, I feel like, because you and I are very needy and specific and high maintenance people. We know that.
Excuse you.
We are. And I just feel like Brendan would be, if we ever had a trio in our friendship, Brendan would be that person where we could just be like, I need you to do it this way and this way and this way and this way and this way. And he could just handle it. You know what I mean? Like, he would be a perfect addition to our trio. Anyway, we need to go recruit Brendan.
Okay. Good thing he's not alive.
Or real, you mean. But yeah, so it burns up. And then, you know, it's getting far
and Catelyn's watching, and she thinks, watch for me, little cat. She could hear him whisper. And, like, she's said this a lot of times before, but for some reason, when she, like, thinks about it in this moment, it really got to me. Like, I actually, like, teared up. It's too much. I don't like it.
That's crazy.
Too many emotions.
Nah.
This is why I don't listen to sad songs.
Oh my god. Yeah. It was a wild ride, very emotional day. And she's thinking about how Edmure is Lord Edmure now, and she's like, Jesus Christ, like, I can't. And
yeah, and he's been drunk.
Oh yeah.
Because that's his way of dealing with grief. But they haven't really had a chance to, like, sit down and, like, reminisce and, like, grieve together. Because he's Lord now and all of that. He did ask her, he was, like, regretful that he didn't spend more time with his dad. So he's like, oh, did he ask about me, the person that never went to see him? And she's like, oh yeah, he totally whispered your name and not Tansy, whatever that means.
Okay, I have a question. So since Edmure isn't, I know he's about to be, but he isn't currently married. If Edmure dies, does Brendan inherit? Who gets it?
I guess he has to, because there's, like, no other Tullys, right?
Or does it become, like, Catelyn's husband or something? But Catelyn doesn't have a husband.
No, I feel like it would go to Brendan before it goes to Catelyn.
Okay. Interesting.
I think. Or, like it... Even if it were to go to Catelyn, I feel like she would pass it on to her uncle, because it makes more sense, because then, like, not all of the power is held among the Starks, you know?
Yeah,
like,
because if it goes to Catelyn, it goes to Robb, right? And then, once again, it's, like, everything, That makes sense. And, like, Brendan kind of, like, would do a good job. And, like,
I think so. So you're, like, plotting for Edmure's death?
No, I'm not. I think I've become very skeptical about who's gonna live. So now I'm constantly thinking, if this person dies, who takes over for everyone? Right. So yeah.
I do love that Catelyn sneaks in a little bit of shade. She's like, if he had not tried to drown his grief and guilt, he might have been able to bend a bow.
Oh my god.
Not that she was gonna say that.
Yeah, but, like, you know, man's is struggling. This is the one thing I don't, you know,
begrudge him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people grieve in different ways. It's fine. Lysa, meanwhile, has not made even a reply to, like, the letter they sent her. So
the audacity of this woman.
Just love that.
Actually, the lack of audacity really is the issue, but also the audacity. But yeah, she's like, oh my god, maybe Brienne has gotten to King's Landing, though. I need some good news.
Which is, okay, this is also, so, like, they haven't heard about them being captured and brought to Harrenhal then. Like, granted, they just heard about Winterfell, like, just now, so it might take them a second, but, like, as of now, they haven't heard that Brienne and Jaime have been captured and are at Harrenhal.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I bet, like, there's a raven from King's Landing on the way. It just got lost a little. Like,
girl, I can't.
She's trying so desperately.
Yeah. And then people are like, oh, Robb, and they're all like,
they're just giving condolences and all that. And Lothar Frey's, like, all, like, very courteous. Oh, thank you. Courteous. And
he's like, oh yeah, like, don't even worry, my father understands that, you know, you're young and in love. He was once too. Catelyn's like, yeah, like Frey would ever say that. But you know, Lothar's bringing on the charm, and he's like, can I speak with you
He's
later?
quite the diplomat.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's mentioned that the Lord of the Crossing had outlived 7 wives and was now wed to his 8th.
Oh my.
Is he like killing them or something? Like, what's...
No.
Is this Edward the 8th situation?
No, but we find out in this chapter that he's literally 90. I think... Oh, but wait, he's marrying young people, though. Because I was like, maybe, you know, his wives are his age.
He marries a 16-year-old and then... Something fishy is going on, is all I'm saying, you know?
I don't like this. Moving on.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's like, oh, Rob's like, hey mom, can we go for a little walk? And she's like, oh, of course, like, oh my god. Because she's like, he never has time for me, and he's a king now, and he only
the only time he smiles is with with his wife's brothers, Rollum and Rayland. These names. Okay.
Yeah.
So... but he's like, Rollum, his squire's basically like taken Bran's place, and Rowland is like part Theon, part Jon Snow, which I was surprised to see her acknowledge that those two people could have like ever brought joy to her son, but like...
you know, yeah. I think maybe there's character development. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's, you know, otherwise he always has to be king, and he's real like... He's weighed down by it. Yeah. So they're talking about how the phrase, and, you know, hopefully it'll turn out fine. And she's thinking about how, like, things keep just going badly for him. Like, for example, when he heard about the battle at Duskendale, where, like, a third of his army was lost. And he's like, what the fuck were they doing over there?
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it was just like, because we were like, oh, it's close to King's Landing, so they were probably like, oh, we'll just camp out here, secure some area near King's Landing, you know? But like, Rob didn't tell them to do that.
Yeah, so it's a real loss for him, and he's just kind of stunned and shaken by it. And we learned that Robert Glover has been captured at that battle. We might have heard of that somewhere from the Lannisters or somebody. Can't remember. But Rob's like, I'm gonna exchange Martin Lannister, Kevin's, like, one of his twin sons that's
his only living son.
Other than
Lancel, but like, that low-key doesn't count.
Doesn't it?
Well, he's in terrible condition, and he might, because we think he's probably gonna die, right? So... wasn't that the conclusion we'd come to? So yeah,
he's badly hurt, is all we've heard.
Yeah, he's not doing good.
Yeah, Rob plans to exchange Martin Lannister for Robert Glover. Or is it Robert? Robert? I don't care. Robert.
Yeah, and he's like, I should have, because Kevin.
Right. And I should have also traded the Kingslayer for Sansa at the beginning.
Why are we thinking about this now, Rob?
And if we had married her to the Knight of Flowers, then the Tyrells might be on our side instead of the Lannisters. And I'm like, that's exactly what Sansa would have wanted too. Not that...
right? Which is... that I was like, oh...
Loras would have wanted it, but...
but like...
things could have turned out better.
Yeah. It was sad. Ugh.
Yeah, and he says... I've won every battle, yet somehow I'm losing the war, which is so sad.
I can't. Man, I'm sorry, Rob.
Yeah.
Dude.
And Catelyn's like, oh no, you're doing good. Ned would be proud of you.
And he's like, hey mom, I have to tell you something. She's like, fuck. Yeah. I don't like this. And
when he says it's about Sansa, she's immediately like, ooh, is she dead?
Everybody dead.
Yeah. She's not dead, she's married to Tyrion Lannister, which we know, but they're finding out now.
Mm-hmm.
And Catelyn's like real shook by it, but like Tyrion swore that he would return her for his brother, which I'm assuming that she's assuming that his brother has returned to King's Landing and he's just doing this like despite that.
Yeah.
Like she just doesn't realize that Jaime's like nowhere near King's Landing, and they probably don't think she's gonna like, you know, keep up that end of the bargain or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. So so both Robb and Catelyn take this marriage like seriously. They're like, oh yeah, they made her swear vows. Oh, I hate these VWs. Made her swear vows before Septon and Donna Crimson Cloak, and they're like, well, that's the end of story unless I kill Tyrion and make her a widow. Like they're just like, yep, this is a totally legal marriage and not at all a problem that it was done against her will, you know?
Yeah, but that legally that doesn't matter, right? In this world?
I'm just saying that I feel like they should have put up more of a fight.
How? Like I don't
know.
There's nothing. They can't.
Like they can object to it amongst themselves. In the end, they could reach the conclusion that it's like there's nothing else we can do about it. But like they should have at least been like, clearly this is against her will, and no gods can stand for that, or something. I just wanted more.
I think they're just grief stricken, and it's hard to be mad instead of sad when you're stuck in grief.
Yeah. Catelyn's wondering why anybody would do this to her, to which Robb is like, isn't it obvious? For Winterfell, she's my heir. Like,
get with the program, Mom.
Yeah.
Yeah. They keep saying Arya is lost. To which I once again ask, do they know that the Lannisters don't have Arya?
They're pretty sure, because the Lannisters have made like no mention of her, and they heard from Cleos and they were like, Cleos was like, I saw Sansa but I did not see Arya, like all of those things.
So they're like, oh, she killed her, they killed her.
Yeah. And yeah, just all like the things they've only heard of Arya at King's Landing, or sorry, Sansa at King's Landing. Yeah. They haven't heard anything about Arya, so they're kind of concluding that she may be dead or lost or something.
Okay. And now Robb's gonna get a glimpse of her.
Sorry, say that again.
Robb's gonna get a glimpse of her, like you said.
I did not say that. I said something like that.
I'm taking it as that.
Okay, fine. So that happened. Oh yeah, so Catelyn just sad that all her kids are dead or dying or whatever. And Robb's like, I'm not dead yet. And she's like, you might just be. unless you bend the knee. It's not like you'll be the first Stark to do it. And he's immediately like, no, I would never do that. And because like Torrhen Stark, for example, might have bent the knee to Aegon, but Aegon never killed Torrhen's father, so I ain't doing that.
And she's like, oh, it's fine, like, Lannisters just want homage and hostages.
Yeah, and they'll let us keep Winterfell.
And I'm
but
like,
also, like, will the Northern Lords respect Robb?
Bro. Because the thing is, no, because like, at this point, they've lost too much. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
it's either like, yeah, just go all in. Like, there's no backing out.
Like everyone's already lost. So logically, everyone's already lost everything. Like, there's no, like, at this point, it's just, you know, like, it's not gonna, because just everyone, oh my god, I keep saying that, but like, just, it's too late. Like, you can't do anything about it. I don't know what else I'm trying to say. But also, it's like now especially, this would never work. Because, as we recall, Jaime no longer has a hand. And Jaime, also, who knows if he's going to make it back to Tywin alive. So, with those things in mind, I think the ability to have a truce is nearly gone. Because Tywin...
Right.
Because the thing is, like...
Because they can't guarantee Jaime.
Yeah, and, like, the Lannisters never pay their debt. Or, sorry, the Lannisters always pay their debts. Sorry, they always pay their debts. My bad. I would have gotten executed for that. But, like, they always pay their debts. And, like, they get mad over, like, spilt corn. Like, this is his, like... This is Tywin's liege. Like, this is Tywin's, like, son. His sun and moon, if you will.
Why did you say his liege? Oh, that's not the right word, is it?
Is it not?
Because liege is like Edmure is the phrase liege lord.
I thought it was just, like, heir was another word. Like, liege was another word for heir.
I don't think it is.
Okay. Well, he's his, like, moon, sun and moon, and his stars, like, he's, like, his beloved little unicorn, okay?
Okay, yes. Anyway, yeah. So this would work.
This would never work, and it's impractical because people have lost too much. It's, honestly, at this point, it would be insensitive to enforce that, and no one would support him.
Yeah, okay. And Rob's like, oh, is that why you freed Jaime? So that the Lannisters would make peace with us? And she's like, well, I did it for Sansa and Arya, but maybe I also did it for peace. So what? And he's like, what? So what is that they killed my dad? And she's like, do you think I've forgotten that? And he's like, have you though? I don't know. And she gets real mad and she's like, I want to slap him right now, but I'm not gonna. And they just kind of like leave in a huff a little bit. But then she does get called to dinner later. So she's like, okay, at least that says something. And Lothar Frey is just being all like courteous and, you know, offering condolences and praising Edmure and just all of the right things, you know? And once all that's done, the queen and all the other Westerlings leave because it would be weird having them for the conversation that they kind of caused, you know? Yeah. A little bit. And so they're like, okay, before we get to the business, here's some side business. We got some letters from what's his name? Walder's grandsons, Walder and Walder.
Oh my god.
You know how like sometimes like shops or firms or whatever, it'll be like Walder and Sons or like Nelson and Nelson or something, but it'll just be like Walder and 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 Walder. It would just be an endless line of Walders.
Oh my god. Walder and Walder et al. We're done. Yeah, it's bad. But it's from the little people at Winterfell.
Yeah, it's from the two Freys that Catelyn agreed to foster and then totally forgot about. Like, I don't think she has thought about them a single time since she was like, yeah, I'll take them in.
Yep.
And this is when Lothar Frey tells them that Winterfell is burned, that there was a battle when the Northern Lords tried to retake it from the Ironmen, but that when Theon saw his prize was lost, he put the castle to the torch, which we know are some lies.
Oh my Jesus.
Yeah, so they hear about Sir Roderick dying and like all the other like regular folk dying. And okay, so is there any and how the women and children were saved by Lord Bolton's son and taken back to the Dreadfort.
Oh my god.
Now, okay, hang on. Let's get through all of this before we do the oh my gods. And then Rob's like, wait, you don't mean Ramsay Snow, the monster and murderer who was killed, do you? And Lothar Frey's like, I don't know, dude. Like, it's war. Things happen. Like, maybe it was false reports. But all I know is that my nephews claim that this bastard son of Bolton saved the women of Winterfell, and now they're all safe at the Dreadfort, and that he definitely did not burn down Winterfell and kill the people inside it.
Oh my god.
And Robb asks about Theon. Lothar doesn't know, like, they didn't hear about him. So I think that's the end of that news. Okay, now, thoughts.
What the fuck? Okay, so we know, like, Ramsay lied. Duh. But, like, how much is he lying about? Like, obviously all the Theon stuff, bullshit.
Like, this letter came from the Freys. The Freys were inside the castle. So they are also lying. It's not like they're mistaken. Why did I say it like that? It's not like they're mistaken.
Well...
Or are they?
They could be, right? Like, I'm not saying that they are, because I do get, like, that's what I'm struggling with, too, because it could be, like, oh my god, like, this is just... Okay, it could literally just be, like, forgery. Like, this could just be some sort of trap, where they're just, like, pretending that it's, like, the Freys.
Right.
Like, who's gonna notice a missing dead Frey? But it could also be... but it could... let alone someone, like, 51st in the line of inheritance, you know? So, but it could also be, like, they are mistaken and, like, lied to.
Okay, either way, Ramsay is lying.
Yes, we know that much.
He's a big fat liar with a long nose.
What?
And pants on fire.
Hanging from a telephone wire.
Because Pinocchio, whenever he lies, his nose grows, and then liar, pants on fire. I just put it all together. Okay, it's fine.
Okay.
I don't know. I got all excited. Okay, so Ramsay is a liar. Now they're spreading these lies. Who knows the truth? That's my question, I guess.
Ramsay and, like, the few people he showed up with?
Okay. What do you think Bolton, like Roose Bolton, thinks of this?
Ooh, that's a good question, because... I don't know. I think, because... Like, Roose Bolton knows what Ramsay has been up to, you know?
Well, when he heard that Ramsay was dead, he was like, good riddance. I've been trying to kill them.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, not that I've been trying. He was like, he would have been terrible.
Right. So I think he's just...
Yeah.
I think Bolton probably isn't buying it.
But he's not really going to do anything about it.
Yeah. But at the same time, people also know and think that Theon is awful. So I don't know. I think... Because, like, why is Ramsay doing this? Like, he knows that people know that he sucks. So is he, like, is this
Maybe he's trying to rebuild that reputation. Maybe he's got a PR specialist.
Right. So, like, is this him trying to be like, daddy issues, like, dad, love me, like, you know, like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand is the bottom line here.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Shady things are happening up at the Dreadfort.
Yes.
Which is such a...
It's called the Dreadfort, like,
yeah, I was gonna say, it's a little bit on the nose.
Yeah.
For the house that skins people alive.
Exactly. Okay. So, moving on, Lothar's,
to the business.
Yeah, Lothar's like, oh, I'm so sorry, like, if you want to compose yourself. Robb's like, nah, let's deal with it now. You know, let's figure it out, what's going on. And Lothar's like, okay, so my dad is agreeing to this marriage alliance, and he'll support the king in the north, all of that, but...
At what point did you figure out that Edmure was the one who's had to marry someone?
I didn't realize until they said Edmure.
Yeah, because like when we had conversations about it before, never once did you like get close to that.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
You were like, Edmure is gonna marry Asha Greyjoy. Like, you never.
You know what? I guess when in doubt, just go with the phrase, because there's so many of them that it's never.
Yeah,
ending.
but they also had they were talking in that same conversation about how to make amends with the phrase. So you were never like, Edmure needs to get married. The phrase want to get married. Let's marry.
It's fine. I'm really good. I've come to the realization I'm really good at getting like 60% there, and then something happens and I just stop. Like, I was the one who brought up where I was like, why is Edmure single? Why isn't he married? And I kept
you totally did bring that up.
I constantly brought this up.
Yeah.
But it was like, I just never stopped. Like, same thing with like the whole Robert's bastard business. I was like, oh, Joffrey.
You're like, yeah, they're Jaime and Cersei's bastards that look like Robert.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, I was kind of like, do you know what I mean? Like, both times I was getting there, I just didn't like. I like parked 5 blocks away from the destination and then tried to walk there without a map. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't. So anyway, I still give myself credit for this because I kind of got there. Anyway.
What? For this?
I'm not adding a tally mark, but emotionally I give myself credit.
Okay, you can give yourself credit. I'm giving you no credit.
Okay, I don't care.
Anyway,
okay, but what I was trying to say is, this confuses me because marrying Edmure is nowhere close to marrying Robb. So this...
But it is the next best thing.
I guess. But like...
He is the king's uncle.
Yeah... I guess, but okay, I don't know. Feels like a trap to me. Because he wants Robb to come physically and say sorry to him. And
that's the deal.
I understand that Frey has a big ego, but like, even like, this feels like, I get that it's like, he's like, oh yeah, like everyone's gonna see it, like whatever, but it just feels kind of useless, and like, I'm worried. This doesn't feel
about
like
what?
This doesn't feel like as much as of a win. Like, this just feels like some sort of trap. Like, is Frey colluding with the Lannisters and this is a trap?
Okay, trap how? Like,
I don't know.
Make it make sense a little bit.
Joffrey shows up. Because, he has to... Sorry, Robb.
Okay,
Robb.
Okay, you're confusing me further.
Shh. Okay, I'm gonna explain. Robb goes to the Frey's house. And I was like, can you still call it a house?
To the twins, yeah.
Yeah, to the twins, thank you. So he goes to the twins, and, like, there's some sort of trap there, because, like, Lannisters, blah, 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 blah. Like,
they've got a bear trap, they're gonna hang him upside down from a tree.
Exactly. Like, is this a trap? I don't know. I think I'm just cynical.
To do what? So they get him in, they get him to apologize, and they're like, just kidding, you're now our hostage? Like,
No. I, like, is it... Because he's gonna show up, like, without his entire army, right? Or is he gonna take his army to go say sorry? Like, do you know what I mean? Is it just a way to catch him off guard? So then they can kill him or something? Like,
I don't know. I don't...
There.
Like, they didn't talk about his, like... He says he wants to go north, like...
So is it like he'll say
the Freys
goodbye?
Are on the way to the north.
Okay, so he'll take all his people. So it's like, oh, I'll go say bye and go do my stuff. Or go say sorry and go do my stuff. Okay, I guess. I don't know. I'm just skeptical. Like, I just don't trust the Freys.
It's a trap. Okay.
But yeah, so that's what he wants. And then...
that plus to have Edmure marry Lady Rosalind, maid of 16 years, Lord Father's youngest daughter, by Lady Bethany of House Rosby, Rosalind Rosby. I guess she's Rosalind Frey, but whatever. And she has a gentle nature and a gift for music.
Wow.
And Edmure's like, how about I see her first, though?
Yeah.
And Walder Rivers is all like, oh, you want to count her teeth first?
What?
And yeah, they don't want any delay. You have to accept this now, or the offer is withdrawn. And
he's like,
Lothar's like, yeah, my dad wants y'all to get married like right away, cause
we have trust issues with you guys.
Yeah, we don't like long engagements anymore. And besides, who knows who's gonna be alive at the end of this war? So what if Edmure dies or my dad dies? Like, you know,
honestly,
let's get this done.
Honestly, valid.
Yeah, it's true. It's like the most reasonable argument they've made.
Yeah. And he's like, oh my god, like, I don't want to do that, cause...
He being Edmure.
Yeah, Edmure's like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I want to choose,
so first they
like,
dismiss the phrase so that they're now talking in private.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, Edmure wants a choice, and he's like, oh, I bet if we send him like what's it called? Like a
rejection?
Not a rejection, like a rebuttal, like different terms. Like
yeah. If we send him like an updated agreement, he'll totally be
like,
yes.
Yeah. But they don't have time for that shit.
Yeah. And like he ain't gonna
Rob's
take it.
Like, yeah, Rob's like, I'm not gonna force you, but if we don't do this, we're not getting the phrase ever. And
Catelyn's like, come on, dude. And then Edmure's like, I don't see you marrying Frey and becoming his 9th wife.
Yeah.
And she's like,
the
8th one's alive.
He's got a wife, as far as I know.
Thankfully.
Thank the gods, because I don't want... And I'm surprised that you didn't even think of, like... Did we talk about how Walder Frey... I think at some point, I can't remember when I was watching the show or when I was reading the book, at some point I was like, are they gonna have to marry Catelyn to the Walder Frey? Like I had that thought. I remember
at some point saying to you, what if they make Catelyn marry someone? I don't remember when or who it was, but I wasn't like, oh, it's Walder.
I think we did.
But I do remember saying that about Catelyn possibly marrying someone.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so that's a thing. And the Blackfish is like, listen, I'm the last one in the Seven Kingdoms to tell anyone who they should marry. But you did say you wanted to make amends for the Battle of the Fords. And Edmure's like, oh, I was gonna like fight the Kingslayer in single combat, or like have 7 years as penance, or like all this like random shit. But I guess I'll marry as amends.
Oh my god.
So he reluctantly agrees.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So when is this wedding happening?
Like, in 7 days.
Oh. Can they even get there in 7 days?
Yes, they can. They'll travel by spaceship.
Okay, so for real, it's happening in 7 days?
Fine, 21.
Okay. All right, so it's happening, like, within the next few weeks. It's happening at the Twins. Everybody's going because, like, it's on the way to the north?
I mean...
Yeah, who's gonna go to this wedding / apology?
See, I think... I mean, there has to be enough people there for it to, like, be a big deal, because it is, like, the Lord of the... Or the... Yeah, the Lord of, you know, the East, or whatever he is.
Like, it is the wedding of the season, yeah.
So...
Not the East, just of the Riverlands.
Right. So I guess, like, obviously it's a big deal. Like, he can't just be the only one who shows up. But I think it'll still, like, not all of his people are gonna go. I think there will be, like, enough representation from all of, like, the River Lords.
What about, like, family members? Like, who
Catelyn,
in the family is gonna go?
I think Jane will have to... I think what they'll do is they'll bring a lot of people, and then they'll have, like, the army going forward and people going back towards River Run type vibe. Like,
like everybody will go to the wedding, and then some people return to Riverrun while the army goes
just
to fight the battle.
Like Catelyn's not gonna go fight, but like, I think she's gonna go to the wedding.
Okay, so Catelyn's going to the wedding?
Yeah.
I mean, unless Rob gets a POV.
Yeah.
Unless Edmure gets a POV.
Oh my god, I would cry. Yeah, so I think Catelyn, Edmure, duh, Rob, Jane, and then the others Brendan. The others, I don't care about the names enough, but I think there will be good representation from all the houses that are directly related.
Okay. What is this Lady Rosalind gonna be like?
She'll like music. I mean, she's a child. Like, she'll be fine. Hopefully she won't be terrible.
I don't think they're gonna view it as like a child or like she's 16. She's basically what's it called when you're old and not married?
Widow. Or no,
Spinster?
not widow. Why did I say that? She's not a widow.
Spinster?
Right, yeah. I guess, but I don't think so.
Will Edmure be happy with the match? I don't know.
I don't think so. I don't think anyone could make Edmure. Like, why isn't Edmure married? I keep coming back to this. Anyway, yeah, I don't think he's gonna be happy. I think he'll I think he'll be like, oh yeah, I'm the Lord, slay,
It's gonna be a Dothraki wedding. Slay.
Yes, totally. Definitely.
Will it be auspicious with a bunch of deaths, or will it be... What's the opposite of auspicious?
Auspicious is good. I think you mean ominous with a bunch of deaths.
No, because the Dothraki think it's an auspicious...
Okay. I was staring at you because I was like, in what world is that a good thing?
No, if it's a Dothraki wedding, the more deaths,
I guess.
the more auspicious. I don't know.
I guess, yeah.
Will it be that or not that? Because I can't remember the opposite word for it.
I think it'll be, auspicious, but not Dothraki auspicious. Actually, no, it'll definitely be death-filled. Someone will die at some point, for sure. That's a low bar. Who? I don't know, just some random person.
Like somebody will pick a brawl fight kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I mean also cuz a lot of these people their homes have been ransacked, shit is happening. It's literally fucking war. So I just think it's like a wedding, but I just think people are going to not be in happy moods. And I think there might also someone might they're like, oh, it's a wedding, there's gonna be food. People might get violent trying to come in and get food. Do you know what I mean? In a place of war, trying to have this
a little bit of a riot at the wedding.
Yeah. So
okay, that would be interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So wedding, everybody's going, and the apology, that's gonna go well. And
I hope so. I really hope so.
What other things can we predict?
There's nothing. Let's move on.
Okay, that's everything. Everybody RSVP to this wedding. Okay, so next chapters?
Yes.
We are reading 2 next time. Give me your hopes and predictions.
Okay. We will be reading Dany and Sansa.
Wrong on both accounts.
Yay!
We're reading chapters 36 and 37.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 36 is Davos.
Davos! Okay, oh yeah, he's in the cell or whatever.
Yeah.
I think Melisandre will be like, I'll kill your son if you don't give me your beautiful life power. And he'll be like, I have to now. So we'll prep some shadows.
And that'll be that?
Yes.
Okay. And chapter 37 is Jaime.
Jaime! What was he doing?
At Harrenhal.
Oh yeah, and Bolton was like, "Freshen up, dude. Someone's gonna see to your wounds."
So he's gonna take a shower.
I think so, yeah. And he'll be like,
that's the chapter?
Yes, of course.
Okay, give me your real prediction now.
Okay, I think that we'll just find out Bolton's intentions and all that. I think Bolton will be like, "Oh, you're my royal hostage," blah, blah, blah. And I think we'll just talk to Bolton and just figure out if Bolton is indeed gonna betray Rob.
Or keep faith with Catelyn. Because at this point, they're both opposite things, unfortunately.
My god. True.
Okay. Well, that's that then. Everybody, send us your thoughts via email. Our email is popculturesymposium@gmail.com. We haven't read an email in like a few episodes. So give us something to read. And follow us on Instagram @popculturesymposium. Check out all the posts that Harmouth comprises. She puts a whole bunch of work into it. Anything to add?
Thank you. What am I supposed to say to that? Yes, I do. But thank you for the shout out. Mm-hmm.
Go join the Discord and talk to us, and we're gonna create a new Discord channel
guys,
that I've already forgotten what it's gonna be about.
We have a lot of really cool channels in there. Okay, so we have Question of the Week, where,
why is this turning into a no I just
we haven't told people in a while. Like, I just feel like they need a refresher. Okay, so we have Question of the Week. Shh. Okay, so we have a general channel where you can just do whatever you want. Then we have
a whole categories of channels that says channels that Harmouth insists we need but Nav doesn't want to see.
Okay, I was getting to that. So we have our channels that are visible. So obviously we have welcome, duh. Then we have general, which you can just kind of do whatever you want. And then our last kind of openly visible channel is ASOIAF, no spoilers, and that's the one that I get to be in. And then apparently there's a spoilers chat where I guess you can join
the more fun one.
No, you can join that if you really want to, but it's just not as cool as the other channels. So there's that one.
Isn't it though?
No, And then we have a little tab of channels that I want, but Nav is like, I don't want to see these. So they're a little bit hidden, but they're there. So those ones are, we have a Question of the Week channel where like every Tuesday I send a question in there and then everyone answers and it's really fun. And they're really fun questions if I do say so myself. And then we have...
I'd rate them like a 7 out of 10.
I don't see you coming up with Questions of the Week, okay? And then we have the, Who the Fuck Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who the Fuck Is channel, where that's usually where I go to ramble right before an episode comes out, or before stuff's been recorded, and while I'm reading. The other day, when I was reading the chapters for the episode before this one, where they were describing the swords that Ice has now become, I sent a little picture of a sword, of a long sword, and the picture was a diagram, so it had every single thing labeled, what the pommel is, what the lines are, it was this whole thing. So that's usually where I go to just be guys, I don't know what's going on, that's that channel. And then now we're gonna make a new channel, which I also seem to have forgotten what was it gonna be about, but it was a really good idea.
Points, keeping track of your correct predictions.
That channel's gonna be about what I've predicted and what I have not at all. Actually, let's just keep what I have predicted in there.
What you have predicted that has come true.
Oh, yes.
That specifically.
Yes. Yeah. So.
You predict a lot of stuff.
True. Hey, there's power in numbers. If you predict 100 things, maybe one of them will be true.
Ooh, I know. I'm gonna title it Harmouth's Predictaments.
Oh my god. We could also just make that, we could also do that, make that a thing on our website instead of Discord.
That's too much work. No.
Okay, Discord. Yeah, exclusive if you join the Discord. We're gatekeeping. Yes,
it's so much work, I don't want to do it.
Okay. Well, that's okay. I'm okay with gatekeeping. Because literally all
That's not why I'm doing it. I just don't want to do
No, that's why I'm okay with it. But literally, you guys, it's barely gatekeeping. Like, it's one button. Just join the Discord. Like, you're fine. I promise you, you will not regret it. Anyway, that's my...
Unless you don't have the app, and then you have to download it and create an account and choose
Why
a
are you not on our side? Cut this out, okay?
I just want people to know what they're getting into. I don't want no false advertising.
This is not false advertising. People know how, like, if people have made it this far to, like, a podcast episode, you know, they know how basic, you know, social media works. I don't know. It feels weird calling Discord a social media, but I guess it is. Anyway,
that's a forum place.
True. Okay, you're right. Okay. Anyway, that's my 5-minute spiel about Discord.
That was so long. Okay. Remember when we were like, let's keep all of the rest of the episodes this month under an hour and a half.
This was supposed to be 1 hour and 15 minutes, and now it is 1 hour and 54 minutes.
So, until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.